Want to find trending products for every season before others do? As we all know, dropshipping can help you quit your 9-to-5 job, reclaim your time, and build generational wealth for you and your family. Now, with that being said, this is actually the perfect time to start your dropshipping journey so you can start making a passive income to help you get one step closer to achieving your goals. If that sounds like something that you're trying to do or you even have just a bit of interest in, please do pay attention to this video as it will show you some advanced strategies on how to conduct more precise and more detailed product research to find those winning products before the trends begin and get to them before others do so you can make more money. What's up, y'all? Sean here, one of the consultants here at Supreme Ecom. Before we hop into today's video, guys, you know that we do a free consulting call every week. And if you want to get a chance to enter, do these 3 things. Go ahead and like this video, because we put these videos out every single week to give you guys as much value as we can. We're learning, so should you. And make sure you subscribe to our channel to watch every video we put out every single week. And 3, comment the word dropship in the comments below with your biggest takeaway from what you learned with this video. In the next video, I'll be announcing the consultation call winner. So make sure to stay tuned if you want to find out if it was you in that next vid. Today, I will be covering how I use Google Trends, a great free tool, and AdSpy, one of our most favorite paid product research tools, together to find trending seasonal products before others do. Without further ado, let's hop into AdSpy and Google Trends. Perfect. So as you can see here on my screen, I have AdSpy up. Now, yes, guys, AdSpy is a paid tool. It is a bit expensive. However, whenever you're doing your dropshipping journey, this is a business. It is to be treated as such, and therefore investments are going to need to be made into your business. And I truly believe AdSpy is one of them. Now, with that being said, before we hop into actually using AdSpy with Google Trends to find these winning products before other people do, let's talk a little about just kind of how AdSpy works if you're not familiar. So as you can see, pretty much right here at the top, you literally just have, obviously this is not an actual person, but this is going to be the brand, the dropshipping brand, whoever is selling this. Below that, you're going to see 2 sets of dates. On the top, you have the created on, when this ad was actually posted by this person, Hababi. And on this date on the bottom, this is the last seen date. Anytime a Facebook user scrolling down in their feed, last seen this ad. So this was created today, and it was also last seen today. Additionally, if you click this arrow, this will then take you to this actual Facebook ad on Facebook itself. And coming down here, there's a variety of different kinds of engagement and little kind of cool little information that AdSpy gives you. First things first is there's 3 different modes of engagement on every ad. You have comments, you have shares, and you have likes. Now, comments is going to be the most important for the simple fact that it's the purest form of self-expression. When somebody leaves a comment, usually if they're typing something, either they're showing some kind of genuine interest, maybe they have a question, maybe they really want to complain, but typically they're really going to kind of say whatever is on their mind. Secondly is going to be shares. Now, I may be one person, you may be one person, but Facebook has tons of groups with thousands of people in it, especially if it happens to be in a niche, or let's say, maybe like you're selling a baby product and you have moms. There's so many thousands of groups of moms and literally just in these Facebook groups scattered everywhere. If somebody goes ahead and shares that ad in that Facebook group for the first time, you now potentially have exposure to a way bigger, different audience that could potentially, again, convert and make you even way more sales than you already were. Now, last but not least is likes. I like likes, but just do keep in mind they are important, but they can be bought. Does this mean that the likes are bought? No, absolutely not. But there is definitely a possibility and a probability that they can be. And again, just because somebody likes something, it isn't the best indication that they're going to buy. Not to say that if they comment, they're guaranteed to buy, but the chances and likelihood drastically go up if somebody's going to comment versus if they're just going to like something. We see it all the time. You yourself, probably on Instagram, you'll scroll down, you'll see something, you'll like it, and you'll just keep moving. Maybe you're not going to click on the ad, you're not going to click the call to action, etc. So we talked a little bit about AdSpy, kind of how that works. Now I want to head over to Google Trends, kind of explain how this works a little bit, and then actually get into what you really came here for and how we can use these 2 together to make some magic. So first off, when you come here to Google Trends is a free tool. I'm signed into my account here, but you don't need to be signed in. There's no paid, nothing, super free, and you're literally just leveraging Google's data. It's available to the public, and I love that. Now what you want to do when you come here is you're going to go to the Explore tab over here, and again, you're going to usually type in when you're looking for some products, some keywords specific to that product, but for today, we're looking for overall trends and then micro trends within the overall trend. So typically, you want to always keep this on United States, just for the pure reason the United States is the biggest e-commerce country in the world, and therefore it's going to have the most data and the most traffic. Secondly, you're going to see where it says past 12 months. we're actually going to switch this to past 5 years for the simple fact that I want to see what's happened in history prior. It's cool to see what's going on now, but I also want to see what does history tell me, because again, history doesn't always literally repeat, but it definitely rhymes in a way that if something did good, not just the year before, but years prior to that, it could be a very good indication that it can be ran again and just come back to life with some cool little features and tricks. Now, that's just a little breakdown on Google Trends, but the first thing we want to do here is think of the overall trend. So we know for right now, pretty much being almost kind of closing out the month of March, we're pretty much still in the springtime. So if I come over here and I type in spring, we can clearly see there's a beautiful trend in front of us. A trend, very simple. It breathes in, it breathes out, it ebbs and flows. If you see something choppy just up and down like this, that's simply not a trend. There's no data there. This is a great example of a trend. So let's kind of look more into it. So we can clearly see here that this trend really peaks pretty much almost right now. So March 14th, so maybe about the second to third week in March. Did the very same thing last year. Also in 2020 did the same thing. Now guys, just do be aware when you're using Google Trends, this is a phenomenal tool. But when you're going back to 2020 to look at data, it's very important that you just do keep in mind that that's when COVID was the most, prevalent in society. So, data, I'm not gonna say it's not right, but again, obviously there's way more online shopping than there was in COVID because you weren't really able to go to the store and get stuff. So it's not that it doesn't matter, but just keep that in mind because it's a variable and it's not a constant. But that's what, we can literally see here, the first and second week of March is literally when this peaks. Now let's see, when's the time where it actually starts? So we can see right here, it pretty much, just gets its kickoff, I would say around kind of Christmas time. But when it really picks up in traffic, it's pretty much like the beginning of February. This is when it's really starting to ramp up. Let's see if it's the same for your prior years. So you can see right here, again, really picking up beginning of February, but really does start kind of around that Christmas time. Again, that's 2020. Let's go back to 2019. Again, same thing right here, February, second to third week in March. So now that we know the overall trend, let's think of micro trends within that. So I'm gonna come back over here and actually want to start with just a few holidays. Now holidays are typically going to be a lot harder to sell in because there's the window of margin, the trend is very short. But if you end up winning, you can make a lot of money doing it, and if you do it right, you can win, and you can win big. So let's start with Mother's Day. I know Mother's Day is right around the corner, so let's check it out. Okay, so we can clearly see again, still a trend, very short-lived. However, really starts to gain steam, looks like April, beginning of April, and that's only about 2-3 weeks away, guys. Great time to start Mother's Day products. But it really starts to pick up kind of right around now is when genuine interest is being shown. And we can see that that's congruent among previous years as well. So this is just one. I want to show a few more and then talk about how we can use AdSpy to create magic with this. So Mother's Day is just one holiday. Another one is Easter. I know Easter's definitely right around the corner. So we can clearly see Easter right here, March 15th, peaks first week in April. Same thing here. March 15th really starts to pick up. April 4th right there. So same thing, you can even see it starting to creep up right here. Once you see this little creep, again, it's time to get on that so you can ride it and make money just like the rest of them. So now those are just some micro trend holidays. Now I want to kind of go to a little bit more niche specific focused. So let's talk about that a bit more. So just saying here, thinking of the overall trend in spring, what are some of these little trends and niches within springtime? How about gardening? I think gardening would be a great first one. Let's try gardening. Look at this beautiful trend. Okay, so let's go back here. This is going to be pretty much the end of the year of 2020. So really started to, start January. Again, a lot of these really start right after Christmas. But again, they don't really show interest or pick up traffic until it looks like around the beginning or middle of February. And we can see this one almost had a little bit of a double peak, pretty much in April 4th, as well as towards the end of the month. Let's see what we got here. Again, really actually started beginning of the year, but really picked up steam, I'd say right here. Again, pretty much when February started and peaked out right here. Perfect. So now let's go back actually all the way to the beginning, 5 years back, 2018. God, that seems so far back. But let's check it out. You can see here, 30th, okay. So again, end of the year, same thing, but really picked up steam, I'd say right here. So again, second week in February and peaked the same time, about first week in May and last week in April. So gardening is just one of them. Let's think of a few more. So let's actually try like camping. Okay, so camping, again, really gained steam, I'd say right here, so beginning of March. But February is probably a great time to start running these products. Let's see what we got here. Okay, again, so beginning of March really starts to take off. As you can see, starting to climb. That's a great sign. Take with it as you will. But camping is just another example. All right, now let's be just a bit more specific. Let's try fishing. I don't know nothing about fishing myself, but doesn't mean I can't make money on it. Ooh, nice trend. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got. Okay, so really starts to pick up volume. Again, end of the year. When's it peak? Second week in June. Really gathers volume, beginning of February, second week of February. Okay, about first week in June, double peak second week in June, and it's creeping up again. Fishing is one of them. Let's see, what's another one? Ooh, actually, the PGA Golf Tour. I have no clue when it's happening, but I know it's in the spring. And look at that, guys. It's literally happening this week. So let's try golf. Let's see if there's any kind of thing for golf. Nice. Again, not like the absolute best trend, but still very clear to see, and that's what matters. So you can see right here. Okay, so pretty much bottoms, it really begins again beginning of the year. But I would say this picked up steam right here. So again, end of February, and pretty much rode that thing all the way until middle of June. As you can see, it's coming back up. It's taking a little breather. When it takes a breather, that's the time to buy. Okay, so that's a great time right there. Again, we can see the congruency in the years prior. Yep, 31st, really started to gain traction, I'd say right here. So beginning of March, and again, the second week in June. So these are just a few examples. Now personally, I'm actually a camping fan. Been camping since I was a kid. So just because I'm biased, I wanna go with camping, and we're gonna use that as our example for AdSpy today. So let's go back to camping. And now what you can do is coming back over here on AdSpy. Now we have a bunch of filters. However, for today, we're just gonna use a few. We're gonna use the created between filter, the seen between filter. We're gonna type in the keyword. So obviously for this one, it will be camping. Okay, press add to filters. Additionally, over here with this date down here on the bottom, this will actually bring posts to the top of whichever criteria you select. So for me, again, I like shares and likes. Unfortunately, comments isn't on here. If it was, I would choose it. But for now, I'm gonna click likes. And now let's use Google Trends to manipulate AdSpy and go find that data. So let's see. So for camping, again, our created between is always going to be a bit longer, and our seen between is going to be a bit more shorter. So let's try to figure out some great dates. Okay, so as far as our created between, I can maybe see people making ads for around the camping season. I would say maybe beginning of February, all the way on say maybe like beginning of May. So beginning of February. Okay, so we're going to come back here for created between. Again, we have to go to last year because obviously 2023 doesn't apply. So we'll go back over here. And again, I always double check. I have no harm in doing that. So we can see again. So let's do the beginning of February. So let's do February 1st. So let's come back over here 1 month back, February 1st. And then as far as the other set of created between, let's do February 1st to May 1st. Let's do that. April, May 1st. Okay, so that's our created between. And now our seen between, let's get a little bit more creative with this. Back to 2022. All right, so now when I'm thinking of seen between, I'm thinking of when are people most likely to see this ad, between what and what time period. So now I gotta think a little bit more. Right here, really start to gain steam. So again, end of February, and it really peaked on the 26th. Okay, so I'm gonna say March 6th to June 26th. March 6th to June 26th. March 6th to June 26th. Perfect. So again, we have camping, we have our keywords in there. We have our created between, we have our seen between, and we order by likes to bring the post with the most likes to the top. So hopefully we can see the best products. So before we go ahead and search, one thing to note is that when it comes to these dates, again, I didn't really use any kind of criteria or anything to select which dates. I'm really just kind of using my brain, I'm using my head. And again, that's the beauty of it, is I get to mess around, and every time I mess with different filters, or specifically just dates in this case, I can usually find some new things, and that's key. Now you also might be asking yourself, why aren't you going back here when you're looking for it? Why are you over here? Even though I'm looking at all of these, I'm gonna go with the most recent data I have just to find these dates, and that's gonna be because of last year. That's why I chose this most recent trend. But let's head back over to AdSpy. Let's scroll down and see if we can find at least a few potential products that simply have potential to do well. So let's go ahead and scroll down and see what we find. Again, clothing, we're not really a big fan of clothing. We're not gonna sell chairs. This looks like a stereo system, but as we can see, this is branded, Blue Yeti. Looks like he's trying to copy Yeti or whatever. But again, he has his brand on the product, so that cannot be sold. Let's see what else we got. Summer ready with portable solar generator. Okay, so no video, but pretty simple, straightforward. It doesn't look like it's a branded product, but the only way for me really to know would to go to their website and to then see if their logo is specifically on that product. But potentially, it can work. Summertime is here, spring is here. Again, it gets hot. You don't have AC when you're outside. Everybody needs a portable fan. Otherwise, you're just gonna be dumping water on your head to stay cool. And again, 16,000 likes almost 500 comments, pretty much almost 100 shares. Looks like they were only targeting the Philippines and maybe an age range of maybe between, I would say, maybe late 30s. So possibly this can be something to look into. So we'll consider it as one. Well, let's go ahead and keep coming down and moving forward. Let's see what else we find. Okay, so let's see what this is. Okay, so this is in Spanish, a different language, but let's see what this is. So it looks like this is a flashlight, but potentially, this is a power light, and we can definitely find a vendor for this that doesn't have a brand. I mean, there's no logo on it, just a generic version. That could potentially be something. One thing that's kind of crazy about this is it has 0 likes, but did pretty well on these other things of engagement. I find that kind of funny. Don't know why it's like that, but who knows? Another thing to also take into account is once you find one that you see kind of has some kind of potential, look at these dates. So you can see here again, this was created on February 19th of 2022. This ran until April 3rd. So pretty much, ran for a little while. Not crazy long, but looks like they did somewhat well when they did. Let's keep coming down here. Whether you're flashing in the dark, okay, so maybe another nightlight. March 25th, June 10th, okay, did very well, over 4,000 likes, 750 comments, over 750 shares. Let's take a look at it. Okay, interesting. Comes in a super small case. Definitely very versatile. I love that. Whoa, nice. Wasn't expecting that. Was literally just expecting it to be a regular light. Different kind, has different modes, can really expand. I think this is key. And I know personally, because I've been camping before, if you're ever out at night, if you're really camping, maybe you're hunting for actual food, maybe you're hunting some deer or something similar, the fact that you can open that up broad view to see everything around you is a game changer for people that are really into camping, which I know that if they were passionate about it, which I know I am, potentially that can be something that I know they would buy. But with that being said, again, this is just one of them for camping. I kind of want to go ahead and try one more with you guys. So let's go ahead and try gardening. Camping, again, looks like it's more of a bit of a longer trend, where gardening looks like it was starting to kind of creep up and possibly almost be coming into an end. So I want to see potentially what we can find. So let's come back over here to AdSpy. Let's go ahead and clear out the current filters that we have so we can go ahead and put in our new ones. But I already get this ready. So let's go ahead and type in gardening, add to filters. I'm going to filter by likes, and then I'll leave my creator between here in a second. Let me just get this ready, put it on 2022. Perfect. Let's come back over here and let's see what we got. For my created between, I would probably say beginning of January all the way to maybe beginning of March. So beginning of January to beginning of March. March 1st, in between 2022. All right, when was the real heat of this? Looks like it really picked up end of January and then peaked May 8th. Okay, so January 31st to May 8th. Let's see what we got, guys. Let's go ahead and scroll down. I need this in my life and never worry about hurting my fingers anymore. Let's see what you got. Okay, very interesting. Personally, I don't have a garden. I'd love to have one day, but I do have an uncle that has a garden, and they call him, got the green thumb. He's always in there. I tend to think that sometimes he spends more garden than he does in his own house with his family. But of course, it's all for a good reason. But I know that this product would definitely be a game changer for him. Instead of trying to do it with your actual thumb, which I know he actually used to do. Again, has a little metal piece in it, and it can simply help you out. I can definitely see hardcore gardeners, especially people that don't just garden, but actually have a garden and probably use that for almost all their food or their vegetables, would definitely be interested in a product like this. Again, this was created on January 18th, ran it to March 1st. So ran it for a decent amount of time, pretty much almost like a strong 2.5 months right there. So not bad at all. And look, they did very well. 25,000 comments. That just goes to show you there's a lot of people that showed interest in this. And out of those, a fifth of those were comments. This may look like, well, this has way more likes than comments, but again, think about the time to actually, write something and take time. 5,000 people doing that, or maybe it's not, maybe people commented multiple times, but that's a lot, guys. That's a fantastic sign. I think definitely, the more research I did on this product, for sure think it has potential. But let's go ahead and keep coming down and see if we can find just a few more. Okay, so we got gardening beds, something different. Okay, potentially we got something right here, Father's Day pre-sale, grafting cutting tool. So I can see this was created on January 24th, and for August 18th, it was last seen. So that's a stretch of 8 months, guys. That's a very good amount of time. And they did very well. 7,000 likes, almost 1,000 comments. That's really important. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ad, find out a little bit more about this product and exactly what it does. Okay, so it kind of looks like it's splinting the tree to help you. I see, interesting. Nice. Okay, so again, I don't know a lot about gardening, but when I was a little youngin', I did spend quite a few times with my uncle in the garden, And again, he used to do the same thing with the foil, but he'd have to physically cut it with like a tool he'd have to get from the garage. So the fact that this is just, a small little one, doesn't really look like it has any kind of power to it. It's straight mechanical. I can definitely see this definitely being a product that any, true blue gardener would definitely take interest in. Let's go ahead and see if we can find one more, and then let's go ahead and wrap it up, yo. Easy sous shopping, okay. Okay, so this pressure washer. Now, I know personally that pressure washers, when I used to wash the house with my father, just as, doing a chore to help him out, we would actually go and rent one or have to literally go pick it up from a family member and then transport it back just to wash the house. So I definitely know that this potentially could solve a problem, and it looks like it's super easy. And look at the amount of water that they're spraying. Usually you just get a weak sprayer, thing barely works. But it looks like it has great pressure. They're showing a bunch of different use cases that you can use it. So I think that's awesome. Over 2,000 likes, just the amount of comments, that's awesome. That's super, super important. And we can see that they ran this not even for that long. Guys, they literally ran this for maybe like a month and maybe like a week and a half, if that. And they did very well. Again, once you really see, it's normal to see way more likes than comments a majority of the time. But when you see them equal, or if you even see more comments than you do likes, this is a great sign, because not only do people like it, but people are actually talking about it. That's a fantastic, fantastic sign. With that being said, guys, that's just a little bit about kind of how Google Trends, you can use it to manipulate ads by, just putting them together to really create some magic. So again, today we went over learning how to use Google Trends and Ad Spy to your advantage, because it's going to be key in finding those products before other people do. These advanced strategies will take your research and analysis to a higher level and stop you from wasting time in the wrong direction or finding the same products for every search. With that being said, watch this video a second time if needed. Then go back and take action and get to work so you can make 2023 your year. And before we forget, let's announce our one lucky winner from last vid. Congratulations, Chad Ryan. Be sure to hit up our Supreme Ecom Instagram, DM us so we can make sure that you get that one-on-one call scheduled for that consultation to help you out with whatever you may need, my friend. Well, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you all really, truly enjoyed the vid, and we will run it up in the next one. Take care. Peace.
They gon' want a piece when you got it like that. Like Jake said, we gon' spend it, get it right back.